Hello, everyone. So glad to see you here, as I used to say on my other show. We're here for another episode of FaB Gab. I'm here with my friend and co-host Matthew Street. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Hey, Joe. Great to see you and great to be here again.
Okay, it's been a while. We missed a few weeks,
Mhm.
but as I always tell everybody, there is no set time really for this show. It's not like, oh, every Sunday, every other Sunday, every Tuesday night, every Thursday. It, it's when we can do it is really what it comes
Right,
down to.
right.
And this is a real undertaking because there are 30 songs here on the Beatles' White Album from 1968. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's going to be. It was hard. It was hard. It's always hard, but this was more difficult because of all the songs. But before I start, I just want to say today is May the 23rd, and it is 9 years today that I made my very first YouTube video. So,
Congratulations.
and Oliver, who's here now, hello, Oliver. You kind of like spoiled it a little bit, but that's okay. I was gonna bring it up anyway, but he was mentioning
Yeah,
it earlier.
I was doing a pre-show testing of my equipment, and somebody mentioned that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. 9 years. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, for me, it seems longer, and I mean that in a good way. Usually,
Yeah,
when you say something seems longer, I go, "Oh, it seems long."
yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like I can't. I don't know what time almost when I wasn't doing this. It feels like so. Yeah, it's a special day for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's great. What a great
yeah.
milestone. Well, next year will be the bigger one, 10 years, a decade.
Oh yeah, and
You'll have to
hopefully
do
I'll be
some kind of
retired.
celebration. You're gonna have to do a
I'll hopefully be
celebration.
retired next year, but I hope, and
Yeah,
then that'll
you'd
even
be retired, and then you could do the 10-year anniversary celebration on YouTube.
exactly. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a couple of things. First, because we have 30 songs, and we have things to do after the show. We don't want to spend too long. It's going to take a long time. I actually had a friend who asked me, and he's probably here, if he could join us for this ranking, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, but because there are 30
Uh,
songs, we didn't want to have anybody else. It's going to take long enough. Meet George
yeah,
Abbott as,
yeah.
as it is.
Oh, but please tell them, Joe. Any other from here forward, have them come, please.
Oh, absolutely. And there'll
Yeah.
definitely be many more opportunities
Mm.
because we're going to do the solo albums too and
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah, so I'm also thinking, folks. I hope you don't mind. I may not highlight as many of your comments, but and get people involved as much. Maybe we're going to go through it kind of faster at home, maybe than usual. But don't worry about that. Your comments are still going to be here, and when this
Right,
becomes a video, right, you'll be able to see the video and the comments too.
right, right.
So
Yep.
your comments will be here. All
Very
right.
true.
Now, here's a question before we get started. I have to cover. As we know, George Martin and some of the Beatles, maybe on anthology, thought, oh, the White Album. This question always comes up. Should have been a single album, not a double album. For me personally, I love the fact that this is a double album. That it was something different that was done by the group. They got plenty of single albums. You have so many different kind of things that they tried.
Hmm.
It's nice that to me, in my opinion, that it's a double album, and I like that there's a lot of versatility, a lot of different stuff. And my favorite quotation of all time from Paul McCartney, we know what it is.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what I was thinking.
right
Yep.
there it is.
I love
Oh
that.
come on, it's great. It's sold. It's the bloody Beatles White Album. Shut up.
Shut up.
I mean, I love that.
I
But what you
Yeah.
feel it the same way, or you prefer a
Exactly.
single album?
A minute you just mentioned Paul McCartney's quote, I smiled because exact my thoughts is that it's the Bloody Beatles White Album. Shut the hell up. We love it as it is. Don't change a damn thing. Okay. It's a great album.
It's so
I
cool that
agree.
it's disjointed. You got concise, tight albums like Pepper and
Yeah.
Revolver, Rubber Soul. Now you got something that's kind of all over the place and different.
And
That's
it,
cool.
it just and it's such a big change. We went from that 68, 66 to early 68 psychedelia period, with the Pepper, and then later in the year in 67 with Magical Mystery Tour, like we just did with the great Kid O'Toole and then Andy Nichols. Psychedelia, but then all of a sudden this album comes out and it's a total departure from those two albums. It's stripped down, stark simplicity, and like you said, the ups and downs of it and the length of it. I love it. I think the Beatles made a great change here. You know,
Yeah, and it's not
mix it
like
up.
they don't do this all the time. That's what
Hmm.
makes it set apart from the others. Some people are saying, "Oh, we should do 2 shows for this maybe." No, we thought about it, but I didn't wanna do 2 shows. I wanted to put it all in 1 show.
One
So,
concise
l
show. Yeah.
how about if I just shut up and we get started right now, okay? So, okay, I'm gonna start we're gonna take turns here. One time Matt'll start with a song, then next song I'll start, and so
Okay.
on. So, Matt, I'm gonna start with you for number 30. If you're ranking these songs, what brings up the rear? What's the least song here, or worst,
Yeah.
if you like,
You know,
for
I was
you?
going to try to be Mr. Different and Mr. Oh, I'm a rebel here and not put it in the 30 spot, but I got to put it in the 30 spot. And that's Revolution 9. I'm sorry. Nothing against the song, but I don't listen to it on its own. And Joe, I have to go to you for this because you, I believe, feel the same way. And I agree with you. When I'm listening to the White Album as a piece, as a complete piece, yes, I will listen to all of Revolution number 9 because the chaos of it and the craziness of it brings you into that final song of Good Night by Ringo singing, and it's just such a great transition, and I love that when I'm listening to the whole album. But I don't listen to this song singly on its own, so it's the only one out of the 30 I don't occasionally just listen to it on its own. So number 30, Revolution 9.
I know you're always playing Wild Honey Pie all the time. You're
Yeah.
always sneaking that on, I know.
I
Uh,
almost put that one at the end, Joe, but I said,
yeah.
I don't want to look like I'm trying to be, oh no, Revolution number 9's better than Revolution 9's 30 for me. Sorry.
Yeah, and someone here says Revolution 9 is not a song, and I agree, which is why a lot of times, when people say, "What are the worst Beatles songs?" I go for right away. I'll pick my number 30. My number 30 is also Revolution 9,
Yeah,
and it's not a song, so it's an easy out. It's an easy out when you have to pick one. Oh, we'll just pick Revolution 9. That's it. You
yeah,
know, but technically it's not a song. But like you said, Matt, you nailed it for me. It's like if I'm listening to the whole album, I want to hear it as part of the album. I'll never put it on. Although in my life, at times I have put it on to show people. Wait till you hear. You got to hear this thing they did. I
yeah,
remember I showed a
yeah,
friend once
yeah.
when I was a teenager.
Highlight it for somebody.
You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
other than that, to listen to, no, I'm not interested. But and I like that it exists. I'd rather have it exist than not. I'd
right.
rather have it as this kind of crazy tape loop experimental bit of nonsense and
Hmm.
craziness. They do it all. They did experimentation, tape loops, country, show tunes, or whatever. I like that it exists.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to put that
And
at
as
the end.
and the craziness of it and the chaos as we were saying, and how it transitions into Good Night right at the end. I just think
Yeah, good. Right, you mentioned that. Good, but that is a
yeah, I
beautiful
love that. I
transition.
love when you're hearing it in context, and then with Good Night coming in. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that can really, really kind of like set the way for that. The last song, it makes it stand
Mm.
out. It's a perfect way to close the album that way. I think a
Hmm.
1-2 punch, if you
Yeah,
will, like
yeah.
that. Okay, now I'm gonna go for number
29.
29. I'll
Okay.
start with 29, and it's Wild Honey Pie. I went for. I actually enjoy Wild Honey Pie. It's just a bit, again, not a real song, official song. It's a
Yeah.
segue, a piece of nonsense, a piece of silliness that goes between 2 tracks. And I wouldn't have the White Album without it. I don't want them doing that on every album, but
Right.
it's fun that way. So I have Wild Honey Pie, which I get a kick out of. You know,
Hmm.
a kick out of for the crazy, silly little bit of
Yeah.
nothing that it
Mm.
is.
I don't want to say it's a novelty, but you're right. It's just a little nothing ditty, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Now, what do you have?
Wild Honey Pie. I'm transitioning
Oh,
with you. Yeah, number
okay.
29 is Wild Honey Pie. It's just like for all the reasons you said. it's a it's just a silly little thing, but it's kind of cute and fun to hear. But it's not much of a tune.
And we have some people have a 29.
Yeah.
Vivian had I lost it. Vivian's comments. People are commenting. Revolution 9 was 30. I think Matthew Smith somewhere had Wild Honey Pie 30.
Oh,
He
okay.
started with Wild Honey Pie, but
Yeah, like I was telling you at the beginning of the show, I almost switched Wild Honey Pie with Revolution 9 to be the rebel, but then I said, no, I got to be true to it. And Wild Honey Pie is not in the 30 spot for me. So 29.
yeah, and then we have Why Don't We Do It in the Road from Matthew at 29,
Oh,
and
okay.
Don't Pass Me By, Jazzy Jimmy And Lila here has long, long, long. Oh, say it ain't so, Lila Hale. Oh. So, this is something Matthew asked me too at the beginning. Matt Street said, if we're ranking Wild Honey Pie, should we rank Can You Take
Oh
Me
yeah, we
Back?
talked about that. Yeah, we talked about
Yeah, it's not listed as a track. It's kind of like
right.
a bonus at the end of Cry Baby Cry. I don't know. So
Like a transitional piece.
a
Yeah,
transitional piece. We didn't.
we
We
decided
didn't.
against it. We said no.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's go to 28, Matt. What do you have for 28?
I've got Why Don't We Do It in the Road for 28. I just, again, similar to Wild Honey Pie, it's very short, not much of a song. I do think it's pretty intense and cool, though. I have to say, I mean, Paul singing on it is, I mean, he's straining those vocal cords on this thing. And if this was fleshed out more and more produced and maybe add a few more things to it, maybe some cool guitar or something, it could have been quite a song. But as it is, kudos to Paul singing on it. It's a good little pounding rocker, albeit brief, but it's number 28 for me. Why don't we do it in the road?
Yes, it's number 28 for me also for the same reasons you said. You know, it's entertaining in a way with Paul's vocals and getting into it, but it's not fleshed out into anything more. And I think it was inspired by Paul witnessing some monkeys having a good time in the road.
Yeah, that's right. You're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they were wrestling. They were wrestling.
Wrestling. They were wrestling. Exactly. Now let's go on to number 27. I'll start it.
All right.
And 27, we get, I guess you'd say, the proper songs now, right? We covered everything that was like
I
that.
think so.
These are the proper songs. Which one is going to be number 27 for me? Now, you know, not too long ago, I did a video where I ranked my White Album songs. And it's now not available because I'm doing this new series. So I've been putting them on private. So, I mean, they're not there anymore. And
Right.
I think a lot of these are different from what I had done. But for number 27, the first song that I have as the bottom is Paul doing Honey Pie, not to be confused with Wild Honey Pie.
Okay.
It's, you know, and Matt, it's the same thing that I say about all these kind of I don't know what to call them, show tuney kind of things. What's the term I'm looking for?
Granny music.
The granny music.
They always pick on Paul.
They call it poor Paul with that. I mean, Honey Pie to me, again, I think when he does this song, it's genius in a way. I mean, this is Paul's. He has a Fred Astaire, as he says, type of appreciation. He appreciates this kind of music, and he does a fantastic job with it. It's great. I talked about versatility. It's great that you have different styles that the Beatles do. 1920s feel, yes, Clear Coat says, and that they can do that. It sounds like kind of like from a vibraphone or a megaphone, or you know, the effect. I love it, but you know, I'm giving it its praise because it's just my least favorite on here, the regular track, and it is Paul. Like, you know, Paul, you know, even though I love that he can do it, I think I prefer stuff like Your Mother Should Know. And I prefer When I'm 64 and things like that a little better. So Honey Pie at number 27 for me. And what do you have for your Matt?
My first proper song is, I already saw some people will agree with me, and there'll probably be a lot that think I'm wrong, but I have the continuing story of Bungalow Bill at number 27. It's just never, I found as I did this list, just real quick, let me say, is from when I was a kid in the 70s and first got this album in the early 70s, this list pretty much hasn't changed much. I mean, from the first time I heard this album as a 10 or 11-year-old till now, the songs kind of spoke themselves and kind of fit where they needed to go for me. And they've been that way my whole life. They haven't changed that much. And from when I was younger, I never really got into Bungalow Bill. I just thought it was kind of goofy. And I in the beginning, I thought it was one of the Beatles making that silly vocal part to it when I was young. But as the years went by, I realized it was Yoko.
Yes.
Yoko's, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a Yoko hater at all. I respect Yoko and I like some of her music. But just knowing that one of the Beatles partners got a vocal on one of their songs, just, I don't know, it just sat the wrong way with me when I learned that. So Bungalow Bill 27.
Well, she's also on Birthday, I believe, along with Patty
with a whole
and other people.
And so I have to say, I don't have that low, but this one, because her voice is so prominent, and I said, "Oh, that's Yoko." I was like,
Yeah, that's never been a favorite of mine, and yet somehow looking at this list, which is not an exact science and hard to do for me, I have it higher than considerably higher than that, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just one of those tunes that's never sat well with
Yeah,
me. But
it's hard to rank this.
yeah.
All right. So now we go on to number 26, and for me, I've heard some people agree with this occasionally, and some people may think I'm out of my mind.
Right.
But I'm a John fan, yet I put Revolution 1 at number 26. And the
Huh.
reason for that,
Okay.
as I've often said, is I love the fast version of Revolution, the B
Oh
side of
yeah.
Hey Jude.
Yeah.
That is a balls to the wall rocker. I love that. And when I was younger and I first discovered the White Album, I was under the mistaken impression at the time that the first version to come out was the fast single, the hard crunchy guitar single,
Hmm.
and that later on for the White Album they went. I don't know why I was thinking they went back and softened it up for Revolution
Right.
One.
Right.
And I despise. I say this all the time. I love the opportunity to say this. I despise the shooby doo wop,
Yeah.
and that I don't understand. I still don't understand how that fits this song. And why they stick it in there. Thank God they left it off the fast single. But yet, when you watch the wonderful promo film of them
Oh
doing the
yeah.
fast
Yep.
version, they stick it in there
They
too.
put it in there.
It just
Sure.
doesn't. To me, it doesn't fit. It just doesn't
Yeah.
fit. I got nothing against doo wop or anything. I love that stuff, but
Yeah.
not in this song. So yeah,
And despite that, that is a great video too, huh? But
oh, I love
oh,
that may be my
kick-ass video. Yeah.
my favorite video performance video of theirs. It
Yeah.
may be because it's them being
It's
tough and more rocking.
especially being cleaned up on the One Plus DVD. It's a beautiful film if you haven't seen it, folks.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure, for sure.
Mm.
I'm just looking to see what we got. Okay, rock version would have been a hit single. Revolution at the same spot.
Mhm.
Long at 26.
Snorefest.
What a snore fest.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Now let's go to number 25. I'll start. Oh, it's so hard to
d-
do this, folks. I got to mention that
I don't.
because
I don't think I did. I do 26 yet. I don't think I did. Did I?
oh, did I? What'd you say?
I did
Oh,
Bungalow Bill, right? That was
yeah. Oh, what was number was Bungalow Bill for you?
27.
What was number 26 for you?
Honey Pie. Did I say Honey
Oh,
Pie?
I'm sorry. I had things in the back. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. That's
I
okay.
did
No,
something wrong here. I don't know.
Honey Pie, great. And all I won't stick on it too long because I pretty much agree with Joe. I rather hear When I'm 64 and Your Mother Should Know. It's probably my least favorite of Paul's granny type songs. So it's a pleasant enough song. I do listen to it on occasion, but Honey Pie is 26.
Okay. All right. So now for 25,
25, yeah.
I still have myself listed first. So I'll do
Yeah.
myself first. Yeah, I was going to say, this really isn't an exact science. It's so difficult. And as I look at this, I shuffled this list around a
Hmm.
few times, especially the middle of it. For me, it's not so hard. The end, not so hard. The first five, it's the middle that gets
Yeah.
tough.
Yes. Yeah.
But I put down Piggies by George for
Piggies.
25.
All right.
It's my least favorite George song on the White Album.
Mhm.
I don't know. I can't say why. I don't know. It just never really grabbed me that much. I like the line that I believe his mom suggested. What they need's a damn good
Damn good
whacking.
whacking.
I think that George's mother suggested that line.
Great
If
line.
history is proves correct. So yeah, that's for me in number 25. And how about you, Matt?
I got Revolution 1, so we kind of flopped there. You had it a little lower than me, but yeah, Revolution 1, same reason. We're thinking alike on this one. I love the rocker version. I dig it. Background vocals, I don't mind them probably as much as you do, but they are a little bit annoying on that live video version, the shooby doo wop stuff. But it's just kind of tired and slow to me, this version, Revolution 1. It's okay. I don't always skip it. I do listen to it on occasion, but number 25.
Doc says Blackbird should have been left in the nest.
Oh, Doc, shame on you. Shame on you.
Long.
Another snore fest, according to Jimmy.
Okay. So number 24.
Yeah.
We're going to start with you, Matt.
All right. Happiness is a warm gun.
Oh!
Number 24. Sorry. It's cool. There's some cool. I like the beat, the background vocals on it. It's a pleasant enough song. I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's just there's just so many other songs that as I'm looking, as I was trying to put them in different sections of the paper, where my top tier songs were, where were my middle songs, or who was going to be in the bottom third. Happiness is a Warm Gun just fell there, and number 24. Sorry, okay. Stephen O'Leary saying Matthew. What?
Oh yeah, I'm like looking around here. It's comments 24. Wild Honey Pie. Oh, made it pretty high.
Sorry, Marcus. Sorry, Stephen.
Bungalow Bill 24 for Matthew Smith.
Happiness, number 24, folks.
Woodland Goblin. I feel bad that some of you guys are missing out on the different feelings that the White Album gives you while listening to it. I certainly appreciate that.
Oh, I do too. I get a lot of different emotions as I listen.
But you got to have favorites, at least favorites. Oh, you let us down, Matt. Hey, that'll happen from time to time.
Sorry, I know. Sometimes I, do good. Sometimes I do bad. Talk me off the ledge.
Talk you off the ledge.
Oh.
Okay. So now we're at 20. Oh, geez. We're still at 24, right?
I'm sweating now, folks. I'm sweating.
I told you, you're going to. I got a fan here, folks. It's a hot.
He's got a fan. I got to get a fan for next time.
So you just did 24. You got to understand, folks. It's tough for me to monitor the comments and keep my mind on my list. So now you did 24.
I did 24. Happiness.
So now I'm doing 24.
Yeah.
Glass Onion. 24. I like the song references in Glass Onion. I love that he talks about Fool on the Hill, Strawberry Fields, Lady Madonna. He mentioned, so that's cool and all that. I like the line, there's a clue for you all. The walrus was Paul. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I don't know. It's just it's not a standout track to me. It's just it's just there. Yeah. So I don't know. This time, that's where I got it. Glass Onion. Number 24.
All right. I can't totally I have it a bit higher, but we'll see.
And now we got some other ones. We got Cry Baby Cry at 24. We got Rocky Raccoon at 24. Rocky Raccoon would have been a 24. Trying to come. I can't do my math. For me, 40 years ago or so. But,
yeah.
Okay, now we're up to 23. I'll start it.
All righty.
I like this song. Darn it, but I put it at 23. Don't Pass Me By.
Oh, okay.
Years ago, I would have said I prefer Don't Pass Me By to Good Night by Ringo. But now I put Don't Pass Me By as the lesser. And I should mention, I love, when it comes to the White Album, the stereo White Album. I'm not a fan of the mono White Album. And I don't like the version of Don't Pass Me By on the mono one. I believe that's the one that's kind of sounds sped up more. Of Don't Pass Me By.
It sounds like it's running a little faster. The tape.
It's got silly lyrics. You were in a car crash and you lost your hair, but that's okay. It's funny. The fiddling sound. I really dig it. It's Ringo's first composition, supposedly, that he'd been working on
for like 4 years or something.
Yeah, a while. And it fell at number 23 for me, folks. So Don't Pass Me By.
All right.
How about you for 23, Matt?
Sexy Sadie, folks. Sexy Sadie.
Oh,
you made a fool of everyone, and I'm making a fool of myself here, I think. Sexy Sadie. It's okay. I have to admit, there's a version on Anthology I like a little better than the White Album, to be honest with you. So I don't know if it's a little more rocking or what, but the Anthology version of Sexy Sadie I kind of dig. But the one on the album, it's good. Like I said, we're getting into a territory now, folks, especially starting with Happiness is a Warm Gun, where I do not dislike any of these songs. Let me be clear. Right
Yes.
Once we got past that number 25 range, I really don't dislike anything the Beatles have ever done. But I mean, from Happiness up, I like all the songs. But Sexy Sadie, for me, on this album, just not one of my favorites, folks. Number 23. But I do like the Anthology version a little better than this one.
I want to address the Stephen O'Leary's asking, is the 2018 mix my go-to or the original mix? I'm a mixed bag with Giles Martin. I like some of the stuff he does. I don't like some of the stuff he does. It depends on the song. And for me personally, I think the White Album was the one I was most disappointed with of all the mixes that he did. Probably like Pepper the best, but some of the songs here, I just didn't like what he did to them. I'll mention that as I get,
Mhm.
as we
Yeah.
go through them. I have them in my notes, what I want to talk about. You know, what's this here? They are going by the original 1968 stereo mix. I guess. uh, but
That's my favorite mix is the stereo mix.
yeah,
Easily.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So now we'll do number 22.
Mhm.
Sorry, Ringo. I got two back to back for me. I'm going to put Good Night there. But
Oh, okay.
it's funny. Again, there was a time again where I would put that as one of the least Beatles songs of all to me.
Right, way down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way down there. And now
Mhm.
I have much more of appreciation. And this is good timing. Why? The 50th anniversary White Album release had some extra tracks, and one of them had a really cool version with all the Beatles doing vocals
Mm.
together on it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was so beautiful. And it made me appreciate the song. And as
Fabulous.
you said earlier, it's such a perfect way to end the album. And after
Yeah.
the complete massacre that is Revolution 9, to
Yeah.
go to a nice, soothing, calm good
Oh,
night,
yeah.
it boosts the song up. I think
Talk
the song is elevated where it is on the album rather than listen to it on its own.
Yeah. Right. Talk about emotional, roller coaster, and then going into that song at the end, and it just totally relaxes you, takes away all your stress, all your anxiety. It's just perfect.
Speaking of stress and anxiety, my
Mhm.
goodness, we're at 22.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, I'm gonna have to stop looking at comments. Did you do 22?
Nope.
See, again, how come I called me first? I have your name
That's
first.
okay.
All right,
Piggies. I have Piggies at
Piggies.
22.
Oh, okay.
It's the first of the 4 George songs, and again, I have nothing against Piggies. It's an okay little George track, but in the context of this entire album, it had to fall somewhere, and it's cool, and I'm glad he did it live in Japan. I thought it was kind of a nugget that he pulled out for that little tour he did with Clapton, but yeah, it's just my least of the George songs on the album. 22 Piggies.
Oh yeah, the thoughts on the poster and postcard. That's great. It's just cool that you get little
Mm.
bonuses with the album, the poster, and especially the 8x10s.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so great when they used to include stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best album packagings that the Beatles ever did, actually, with the poster and the pictures and just the stock white cover. I just think it's a great, great package.
I noticed we got some birthday comments here. Birthday great, but I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
Birthday's
so.
god awful, throwaway garbage lyrics. And
Martin,
Paul
that's
does it live and doesn't do classics like Uncle Albert, Monkberry Moon Delight. Don't understand. Well, I would love Uncle Albert is my number one vote. If I could have him do any song live, it would be Uncle
yeah,
Albert. But it must be one of the hardest to capture live
yeah,
with all
yeah,
those changes and effects and the suite and all this kind of stuff. And Linda's voice has to, she was on it, but yeah, Monkberry Moon Delight. Paul, I guess he still can seem to do the rockers.
right, right.
He seems
Yeah,
to be able to do rockers really
yeah, he
well.
seems to be able to handle those very well still. Yeah.
So what do we got here? Matt and I synced up at Piggies at
Oh, yeah.
22.
Vivian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
It's not called the White Album at all. It's called the Beatles.
Yep.
Do we mention that even?
Yeah, I don't know if we did, folks. Just so in case you're wondering what we're doing the White Album.
Yeah, the White Album.
No, the Beatles.
It's called
You
the
can't see it.
Beatles.
Yeah, you can't see it. But.
And yeah.
Oh, just for fun, I took my original 1970 or 71 pressing with the Scotch tape all over it, folks. So I did that as a special treat.
Scotch tape.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go dig back and look at my old.
You made a video about that.
I made a video about a year ago, folks, called Scotch Tape Beatles Freak. If you want to see it, go check it out. Scotch Tape Beatles Freak.
The special album. All righty. So now we're down to number 21.
Yes.
I'll start it if I get this right. I'm so tired.
Oh, okay.
John.
Yeah.
We like all these songs, but if I'm going to try to be objective and somewhat, where am I going to put them? It's kind of dull and tired, but that's the idea of it. It's tired, kind of dull, but I guess that's the point. But it winds up at number 21 for me. Yeah, Sir Walter Raleigh is such a stupid git.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just find some of these tracks, and again, I like everything from here out, like we were saying, but I found that some of the alternate versions on like Anthology or some of the other places you can get some of the alternate cuts of these songs that they float my boat a little more sometimes than the original, and I think that's the case with "I'm So Tired." There's a couple of good versions on. There's one on Anthology, then there's the acoustic version done at was it Keyfon's there or Escher?
and they got Paul singing it
Yeah,
too.
yeah. But
Yeah. What do you have for 21?
all right, 21, Rocky Raccoon. Good song. I've liked it since I remember being a little kid, first hearing this album in the early 70s and loving the song. So I still love it, folks. It's a great song, but it had to go somewhere. Good little story. I love the story of this. You really feel like you're right there, like they could make a movie about it. It's so visual. The lyrics written for this are fantastic. But 21, Rocky Raccoon. Half a granny tune.
Yeah, the gibberish at the end of "I'm So Tired." You know, people think that if you play it backwards, they're saying Paul is
dead. Miss him.
Yeah. But you know what? I think if I remember, I haven't listened to the 50th anniversary extras in a while, but I think I remember when they're doing "I'm So Tired." Isn't it as a outtake or something? Isn't there mumbling like that even then? In it, I remember there's a version where he's mumbling like that. That doesn't make any sense either. So it's almost kind of part of it. It's not like they did it to make it sound like that.
Yeah.
If it's in the general version of it.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but you may be exactly right on that.
No, he doesn't say that. I don't agree. You can have your opinion, but I have mine. Paul is not dead, nor did they set that up.
No, I don't think he says that either.
Well, like I said, listen to it and the version that he says something else on, and I'm so tired. Maybe, see what you think. Just reading these comments here. Have another take. All right. So we're down to the top 20.
We're to 20. We're down to the top 20.
And I always look at the clock and I say it's not bad. Like 32
no, we're doing
minutes
okay.
And somehow it winds up being 2 hours anyway. But all right. Number 20. Now, this is the top 20, right?
Yeah, we're in the top. We've finished the third.
The continuing story of Bungalow Bill at number 20.
Oh, okay.
I did it again. You're supposed to go first. Damn it.
That's okay. All right. That's all right.
Forget it. All right. And there's nothing much I could say about it. Not one of the best songs. I have fun with it, but it's not one of his best songs, John.
What's your thoughts on the vocal, the Yoko vocal?
I had a note. If you hadn't brought it up, I was going to even mention.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I think I like that she's on it because it's something different.
Right.
And I think would I be right in saying that's her first appearance? That's the first time that Yoko appears or on a song with John. I don't know which they recorded first, if it was Birthday or that, but the album anyway. That's the first song. Mm-hmm. So it's a fun track. Not one of my favorites though. And that's why when I came down to the top 20, I did wind up putting it at the bottom of the 20. It wasn't higher up. Right. So there you go. And what do you have for 20?
I got Don't Pass Me By, the first of the two Ringo songs. And again, not a song I dislike. I've liked this one since I was young. I love the fiddle in it. I just love the whole vibe of the song. I like you, and you mentioned it already. I prefer the stereo version much more than the mono version. I love the stereo version. I love the fact that Ringo still pulls it out for his shows and plays it in concert. It's a great little Ringo ditty, and number 20.
I'm amazed how many people have like why don't we do it in the road is all the way up to 20 for Samson.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting though.
It's interesting. It's cool, but I'm surprised.
A disjointed album, but then so with a band. He says Monsieur. I can't say that word, but Monsieur, the French word.
Monsieur.
How about another one?
Hey, Steve.
Anyway, I want to hear that outtake again, or where he does that even in the outtake. But anyhow, all right. Now let's try to go to number 19. And again, I have J first and M second. Let's see if I can get it right. I'll start. J.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to still pick on John a little bit. That's where I have Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey. I appreciate it because it's a heavy rocker. and it's entertaining at that point in the album. I get a little too much with the fire bell sound, ring, 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 ring.
Oh yeah.
I call it a fire alarm.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's got that with the rope and the little bell hitting the
And
bell.
it's a little irritating, but that's because I'm
Yeah.
looking for things to criticize, even though I love it.
Yeah.
You're trying to do that, and there's nothing really to criticize in it. But yeah, nothing. Again, all the ones that I'm mentioning from John for me are not among his best or finest on the album, in my opinion, so far.
Right.
So that's why I have that at number 19. And now I'm up to you, Matt, for
All
number
right.
19.
I'm So Tired is my number 19, and for pretty much we're thinking alike on when we pick these, because I feel the same way you do. It's kind of lethargic. I mean, it's supposed to be that, so I'm not putting it down. I like the song, but it kind of trods along, and it's okay. But there's just a few other John songs on this album that knock my socks off a lot more, and so I'm So Tired. It made the middle third, lower end, but number 19.
Okay, let's go to number 18 and start with you, Matt.
Okay, so here's my second appearance for Mr. George Harrison with Long, Long, Long. I like this song. Again, based on what's ahead of it, if some of those other songs weren't here, it would be much higher. I've always liked Long, Long, Long. I don't consider it a snooze fest or a bore fest. It's got a good vibe to it, a very dreamlike, groovy vibe. And if you're ever like sitting back listening in a dark room and this song comes on, I mean, how many people have ever been frightened by the end of the song? With the eerie,
that is
ghost-like, the ghost-like wailing and yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're in a dark room and you've had a couple of adult beverages, you're sitting back in a chair and that comes on. It's pretty creepy, folks. You want to go for a list of most creepiest Beatle moments on record. Long, 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 the end of it would be right up there. Give it a listen. You'll see what I'm saying. But yeah, I like the track. I like the vibe. It's got a good quality, and it's number 18.
I got that, those notes about creepiness too when I get to that track, which is not going to be for a little while. But yeah, I agree with you there. All right. So, and which number was that? 18 or 19?
Mm-hmm. That was my 18.
Yeah. 18. Okay. Now I'm at number 18, and I have Rocky Raccoon, which I would say all the way up at 18.
Okay, you're a little bit higher than mine.
At first, I didn't really love it as a teenager when I discovered it, but I think it's a real hoot now. I think it's fun as Paul telling a story, kind of, a country type, country western type of feel. I like the story to it, and I guess when I started out, I thought Rocky Raccoon was the animal, like a raccoon. I used to picture this cartoon character.
Yeah.
And now I think of that just his name, like Rocky. Yeah. That's his nickname, Rocky Raccoon. I think of him as he's a man, probably. But I have a much bigger appreciation for it. It's not as played out for me as other Beatles songs,
right.
Which always helps.
And like we both said, the imagery of the lyrics is fantastic.
Yeah. So that's it. Number 18, Rocky Raccoon. Wait a minute. Can I see this doc? Wait a minute. I had a docus one, but I lost it.
Oh, what did he say? What did he say?
I don't know what. Boy, Doc looks it all monotonous.
Boy, me and Doc are on the other sides of the universe with this.
But a lot of times, it's always fun to hear Doc's.
Love you, Doc. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We love you, babe. All right. All right, so number 17. All right,
is it me or you on this?
I have me listed first.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, because I did long.
I get mixed up the way I do this, but I wrote it that way. JM.
Hey, whatever happens.
And then it's just so number 17. Now I want to tell you the next 4 songs, if you can remember this, folks,
right?
That I'm doing. They're all Paul songs.
Ooh, okay.
And they're songs that suffer from fatigue. You hear me? Let me say it. Fatigue.
I'm nervous.
People like, oh, no, here he goes again. Fatigue shouldn't count. It's all about fatigue. It's all about fatigue. It's all about how you feel about the songs. I have to stress again, there's not just one correct way. If I was going to completely objectively say, okay, forget about my feelings. What do I think should be objectively the best, the worst? That's a whole different thing. And every one of us here might have the same list.
Right,
This is about
right.
how you're feeling today at the moment. So at the moment, I put Blackbird at number 17. And I'm damn surprised it got that high for me because I
Yeah,
am so
I am
tired
too.
of Blackbird. I am so tired of Blackbird. I never want to hear it again. Almost. That's how bad it is. But
Oh
yet, look,
man.
out of 30 songs, though, it's number 17. How does that work? Because I'm trying to be somewhat fair, I'm trying to be
Yeah.
somewhat open-minded about it, objective about it. It's nowhere. You have to balance it because it's nowhere near the
Right.
worst song.
Yeah.
It's a great song,
Oh yeah.
Blackbird. I just don't want to hear it so much anymore. So for me, Blackbird is number 17. And you, Matt, what do you have for number 17?
I'm going to George again, 2 George in a row. It's Savoy Truffle. But
Mm,
don't take that as a negative, folks, because it's at 17. Because I love Savoy Truffle, Savoy Truffle, however you pronounce it. I'm from New England. I screw up all the pronunciations. But anyway, I love the horns in this. Oh, I just love it. I love the lyrics. I love what he's singing about you hating the dentist, because I hate the dentist, and eating candy and all your teeth are going to fall out. I think he was writing this to Eric Clapton or something,
right.
wasn't he? Something like that.
Yep.
Just great imagery in the song, and his use of the different terminology for the different candies and chocolates. And like I said, the brass. I keep going back to that. I love the
Mm.
brass work on this song. Folks, I love this song. So don't look at it as a downer being at 17. Savoy Truffle. 17.
Yeah, most people would have it kind of low. I think I think,
Yeah.
but times change, so who knows? All right, we're gonna go to number 16. I mentioned four Paul songs at this particular juncture that I
Hmm.
think are overplayed. Kind of lost a little something for me, and so number 16 for me is Back in the USSR.
Oh,
Uh, I
that's
think
all I'll
that's gonna be
say.
your number one. What do I think? Or two, or three? But what is it? It's a great album opener, great rocker, great album opener. Has the great Beach Boys harmony in there. I believe
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Paul's drumming on it. I believe that's one of his drumming tracks. I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I first discovered this, which I sometimes go back to this compilation a lot, the rock and roll music rock compilation from 1976. That's when I
Yes.
first became a Beatles fan. Hadn't yet had the White Album. Hadn't yet
Oh,
had it.
wow. Yeah, yeah.
And by getting that album was the first time I heard that. And songs like that and some of the other heavy songs were the first time I thought, wow, the Beatles are like Kiss almost, like,
Hmm.
like they got that street cred going. And but I just got tired of hearing it is really what it came to. This is why
Right.
it's only number 16 for me.
No,
And
I can understand.
and live as well, that happens too. It's like Paul's playing these songs live so much. We were so happy to hear him doing this and other songs. I remember when Paul first did "Let It Be." One of the first times I remember was at the Live Aid show.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did "Let It Be," and I was like, "Oh, fantastic, Paul! Please don't ever do "Let It Be" again." You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what happens. But
I know.
in '85, I was like, "Oh, wow, Paul's closing the show with 'Let It Be.' This is great."
Yeah. No, I get it.
But yeah, back in the USSR, just a little burnt out on it.
Overplayed for you. Yeah.
So happens again. I didn't back. Okay, Matt, what do you have there for?
16.
Yeah.
16, I have Glass Onion.
Okay.
Again, you mentioned a lot of cool things about this. How the walrus was Paul, and the imagery and the references and stuff like that. I love all that. I love the lyrical content here is great. I love the song. I'm going to say it with the rest of these folks. I mean, I love these songs, but they have to fall somewhere. And I think this is a great John track. I like that, the tongue-in-cheek John wit with, bringing in some other the Beatle references and stuff. And it's a fab little song, but I had to go 16. Glass
Okay.
Onion.
What's this? Kathy's putting something up about
Mm,
McCartney Archive Collection. We'll skip that. uh, Let It Be. Nobody wants to hear it ever again. Along a Winding Road, a much better song. Oh, no way.
no,
Oh,
no,
no. Along a
Martin, I
Winding
love
Road. No.
love you, Martin. I love you, but Let It Be. That song, can still bring a tear to my eye depending on the moment.
Just writing something like Glass Onion is insane.
Yeah, it's a cool name, Lila. Very cool title
All
for it.
right, so let's go to 15, which is where
Okay.
we're at. Let me continue in my Paul. What's the word? Not
Because you still have two more. You said
quartet.
Paul songs. Yeah, two more to
Yeah,
go.
birthday is number 15
Oh,
for me, and it's exactly the same thing I said about Paul playing it too much,
okay.
and uh, great rocker. The same, everything exactly the same. First heard it on a rock and roll music compilation. Great,
Mm,
uh, street credits there, as I call them. I appreciate it, but just I'm that tired of it. This is at the middle point we're now. 30 tracks. This
mhm.
is number 15. We're in the middle of the album
Right.
now, so to speak. So birthday, folks. Sorry, number 15. Now, for the midpoint, what do you have for number 15 at this juncture?
I have Your Blues, and
Hmm.
this is a great song. Again, I keep saying the same superlatives here, but I love Your Blues. I love the version by the Dirty Macs, on the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. I
Hmm.
love that version, and I love the Beatles version. They are kicking ass here. Blues, hardcore, great guitar playing. John sings it so fantastic. I mean, his vocal is great. I love Your Blues, but in my heart of hearts, it had to go with the halfway point, number 15.
Okay. All right. So now, Matt, let's start with you for number 14.
Well, the second of my Ringo songs, Good Night.
Well,
And
that made it pretty high.
yeah, I really love this song. This song has a lot of meaning for me. How John wrote Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy for Sean. And then it was said, or maybe you can back me on this, is that he wrote Good Night for Julian, in a sense. It was kind of his beautiful boy that he wrote for Sean. This was kind of like his song for Julian back in, earlier, but Ringo ended up singing it. And it's just a touching song, having children of my own and now grandchildren. And it's just one of those songs after the crazy rawness of the whole album and then the chaos of Revolution 9. And to get to this song has always had a nice sentimental place for me. And I love the way Ringo sings it. He's not the greatest vocalist in the world, but the way he presents the song is perfect. I like the string backing on it. I just think it's a well done song. Number 14. Good Night.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Number 14. Let's finish up the McCartney
Yeah, you got the quad here.
quartet. You know what the other one is?
Quartet.
Then got to be right.
I think I know what it is.
I'm putting Obla Di Obla Da at number
Yeah.
14.
All the big guns in those four.
It's a song that probably, again, if I was doing it forget about my own personal feelings at this point in time. And where do I think that goes in Beatles lore? Number 2, 3, 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
on this album. Same things, this whole 4 that I just said, Blackbird back in the USSR, Birthday, and Obla Di Obla Da. I'm just a little fatigued on those folks. It really is a masterful song. It's so good that he can do that Jamaican kind of style
Yeah.
in there. And I love the story of how they were sitting around, and John wasn't in the studio, and they didn't know how to start the song off. And then one day John comes in and just plunks the piano. Dun, 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 dun. That's how they started it. He
Mm-hmm.
came up with that supposedly on the fly like that, which I love that. It's still working together here and there, although the Beatles' White Album is such an individual, separate endeavor, kind of doing their own thing. They call it the Beatles, but ironically, the album is maybe the less group-like
Right.
of,
Of all. Yeah.
of all of
Yeah.
their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it just, as I say, folks, if I never heard that song before, it'd be much harder. It might be in the top number 1, 2, 3, something like that for me. But
correct me if I'm wrong on this, but was there some interview somewhere John did where he said when we went into the studio and Paul had us playing Obla Di Obla Da so much and over and over again that by the end of the day I hated him or something like that.
Oh, I don't recall that. But you could be, but I don't recall that.
It might have been tongue in cheek or being sarcastic about saying, by the end of the day, and after he ran us through 500 versions of Obla Di Obla Da, I hated his guts.
That could very well be. I know that I remember hearing that about Maxwell Silver Hammer.
Maybe it was Maxwell. I might be
do
off,
it over
folks.
and over again.
So,
but yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. So that's 14 down,
And
and
there's
we're making.
your four Big Paul songs right in a
Yeah,
row.
yeah, yeah. That's where that's where I put them. Now let's go to number 13, and I'll start it off.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 13 is where I place Mother Nature's Son.
Oh, okay.
A pretty song, very pretty. Makes me feel like the good old outdoors, birds singing,
Mm.
it's beautiful. That's what it's supposed to do. What can you say? It's a gorgeous song. Makes me feel like one with nature.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's
Nature Boy.
it's interesting. My girlfriend, one time I was playing this, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know the Beatles did this song. I like this song, but she knows it from John Denver. Apparently,
Ah, that's
John
right.
Denver
Yeah.
does a version of it."
He does a great version of it. Yeah, she's
And,
right.
and to this day, even though she knows the Beatles version pretty well because of me now,
Hmm.
she prefers the John Denver version, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
what happens
No,
sometimes.
I can't blame her. She's got a good ear because the Denver version is really sweet. It's a great version.
Mhm. All right, so that's me, number 13, and you, Matt. What do you have for number
Uh,
13?
I've got "Cry Baby Cry."
Okay.
Again, a song I love, a great John Lennon song here, and I love the imagery, I love the lyrics, I like the musicianship of it. It's a fabulous song, but for me, we're getting down to crunch time as we get close to that top 10. And "Cry Baby Cry," although it's a great Lennon track, there's a few other Lennons on here that I love a little bit more. So
Okay.
13. 13.
That's not a bad placing for
No,
that.
no, it's above the halfway mark. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. I just want to write something here. Sometimes I get notes I can add based on things other people have said that I want to discuss when I get to mine. All right, so now we're going to do number 12. Start it off, Matt. What do you got for number 12?
Oh man, one of the heaviest tunes ever, and I love it, and I always have loved it, is "Helter Skelter," number 12.
Mm.
Um, I had a friend when I was in the service over in England for 2 years. He was my roommate, and he was a heavy metal guy. He was a metalhead. He was into Van Halen and AC/DC and Judas Priest and all that. And he really wasn't much of a Beatles fan until I got him into the White Album. Now I know the White Album isn't a heavy metal album, but there's tracks on the White Album that turned him on so much that he became a Beatles fan. And one of them was "Helter Skelter." And we used to crank it in our dorm room. He loved "Helter Skelter," and I love "Helter Skelter." And I just think it's one of the heaviest things I ever did. And it deserves number 12 in my book.
Okay, okay. Number 12 for me, I have George Harrison's "Long, Long, Long," which
Oh,
is
okay.
another track that when I first was a teenager listening to this album, "Long, Long, Long" would have been closer to the bottom. I've appreciated it more and more over the years, decades. I love the creepiness of it,
Mm,
the eeriness, the
yeah.
ghost-like ending of it. Definitely like it. Now, we talked about Giles Martin and the 50th anniversary edition. Now, this is a very controversial matter because that's one of the songs that he either improved or hurt, depending how you want to look at it. A lot of people said he improved it because one of the problems, if you will, with that song is that it's so
Mm,
low. The way his vocals are, you can't really hear it. And then at parts, it gets louder.
yeah. Right.
Like
The
that
mix
almost,
changes. Yeah.
and it's like, but that was the way it was recorded in a way that's almost its strength. So I don't know. Some people now like it better because they can hear him singing the
Yeah.
vocals better.
The new mix brought everything up, but
So I don't know about that if it hurt it or helped it.
yeah.
But choose your poison. But I like it. I think it's really a beautiful song, and yeah, it's got really high for me. Number 12.
I agree
Long,
with you.
long,
That's a
long.
great track. I think I had it at like 18 or something, but I love it. Great tune.
All righty. So now I'll bounce back for number 11, and I have at number 11, "Martha, My Dear."
Ha.
Just missed the top 10 here for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Lots going on in that song. A lot of interesting musical interludes and things. Supposedly, it's about or based on Paul McCartney's sheepdog Martha.
Yes. That's what I heard too. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like gets in my way, but it could be about whatever you want, I suppose, when
Right.
you listen to
Right.
it. But other than other than that, takes a little away from me. I like that song a lot these days, and again, I'm not really again, burnt out on that particular track like I am on some of the other Paul songs. So it made it really high for me. I was surprised. Number
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, and it made number 11 for me too, Joe. So we'll continue
Oh,
the
wow.
conversation. Yeah, we've matched. We haven't matched since the end of the album, but now we're back to matching a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's quite a match.
Martha, My Dear is 11 for me because I just love the piano on this. The way he plays the piano is just. I've always been one of these people that wished I could play the piano. I just never pursued it my whole life, and it's probably too late for me now. But I always wished I could play, and this was one of those songs that Paul did where I was like, wow, if I could just sit down at a piano and play that riff, it would just be so impressive. I love the song. I love the sentiment of it. I love dogs. So even though it's about his dog, like you said, Joe, it could be about anything. It could be about just love in general and caring for someone. So I think it's a fabulous, outstanding Paul McCartney tune, and number 11 for me too.
Okay, it's FaB. All right. You know what? We're already up to the top 10. It's
We
going to
are in
wind
the
up being
top 10.
a shortest show.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to do more comments, don't feel free.
Yeah, because I've been
I
cutting a lot
think
of
we were
comments
nervous.
out.
We thought we
Because I
were
think what I'm doing is I'm flashing a lot of the comments rather than reading them all.
right,
And
right,
I just
right.
flashed them, a lot of them.
But yeah,
All right. But this is Peter Boothroyd says, Martha, My Dear, isn't that hard to play. McCartney makes it seem more complex
oh,
than it is.
well, that's good to know, Peter, because I'm not a musician, so I don't know anything about piano, but I just know it sounds cool.
And Matthew Smith thinks that the fact that it's about his dog makes it all the cooler. Well, I'm not a dog person. I'll be honest, I'm a cat person, but it's
Yeah,
not because of
yeah,
that. I mean, I love Hey Bulldog.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know even they're talking about a bulldog,
Good
but
point, Matt.
yeah. All right, let's go to the top 10, and now maybe
Top
we'll
10.
chill out a little bit here because we
Yeah, we
definitely
got
got
time.
some time here to play with.
We're doing good. We're doing good to play.
Now this is
Yeah.
it. How do you take 30 tracks, narrow them down to 10? This is your top 10
Yeah.
for me today, this week. And I'm going to start with you, Matt, for number 10.
Obla Di, Obla Da. I
Yeah.
love this song. I love it. Love it. I know you said there was a little bit of burnout. It was in your little quad there, your little quadrant of Paul songs. But I love Obla Di, Obla Da. I always love the honky tonk style piano, if I'm saying that right. I remember being at an 8th grade dance when I was 13 or so, and we got to play different records of music. And I remember putting on, I tried to hog the record player to play all Beatles, but they wouldn't let me. They fought me away. But when I could get on there, I remember playing Obla Di, Obla Da once, and the teachers thought it was the greatest thing. They got up and started dancing the foxtrot together, and to that. And I've always had that memory of what a song. It's it brings in such a diversity of people that love it, from younger people to older people can get into Obla Di, Obla Da, and no burnout for me. I love it. Number
Well, you
10.
make a good argument, and really, it almost made the top 10 for me. It belongs in the top 10.
Oh yeah, you had it up there. It was only a
I had
couple
it at
few away.
14.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a good song, such a classic. But yeah, it didn't make it this time around. All right, so that was your number 10. My number
Yeah.
10. It was debatable whether I'd put this in here or not, but I think it's a more fresh, the song I'm going to mention. I can listen to this, and it's not like this one again. And I put it, but yet it's not one of the best, so I put it at the bottom of the top 10. And that's
Right.
John's "Cry Baby Cry."
Oh,
I
okay.
put it there. I like hearing that when it comes on the album. I'm not burnt out on it. I love the "Can You." It's not part of it really, but "Can You Take Me Back," Paul, bit the uncomfortable weirdness as it segues into what's eventually going to be Revolution 9. But
Right, right.
yeah, I like the lyrics. I like the part, chorus, "Cry Baby Cry," make your mother sigh, that whole bit. Yeah, and the main reason though is just that I find it still feels fresh when I listen to
Right.
the album. Is the main reason. All right, so
Good
let's
one.
see.
Good pick. I had it not too far away.
We matched. You got me
Obla
matched.
Oh, okay, Stephen. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, Doc likes the Beach Boys stuff.
Yeah.
Must be in the shoe op, doo op.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I like that, Edward. I never knew that either. That's cool. If that's a fact, yeah, that's great to know that.
Yeah, I
John
think I
liked.
remember Obladi Be Nice on the 2018 version. Whilst I played it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
yeah,
like some
great
of the. I
show.
think there's an alternate version of Obladi on the anthology that's good too.
Uh, let's see, what do we? Topaz the cat. Tired of holding it over and over again. Oh, I see. This is from a comment before. She
Oh,
was saying how, but at the end of Oblada, John's sick and tired of Paul doing it over and over again. It perfected. Said, "Okay, come on, we're already going to," and played the pounding piano intro.
the pounding
Yeah,
piano.
there you go. All righty. So where are we at? Number 9 is what we're up
Mhm.
to next.
I think someone made a joke. I don't know where I saw this, and I don't know if it was your channel or what, Joe. Someone said, "Now make
Mhm.
sure you don't put Revolution number 9 at number 9." No,
Yeah,
that
that's
wasn't
not
going to
going to happen.
happen
Don't
for
worry.
me.
Don't worry. All right, for number 9, this one is kind of surprising to be this high for me. Anyway, I guess Julia, I put at number 9.
Oh, okay.
John's
Hey,
tender
still
song
top 10.
about it's not tender song about his mom, but he does mention Yoko because talks about Ocean Child.
Yeah.
Yoko means Ocean Child,
Hmm.
the name, I believe, and it's a beautiful song. I like the guitar picking that John does on it and stuff like that, which is later on. I think he kind of harkens back to that when he did the song "Look at Me" from the Plastic
Yeah,
Ono Band.
it's that same. I can't think off the top of my head. That same guitar picking style Donovan taught them in India. Yeah, I forget
Yeah,
what it's called,
so
but
it's
guitar
just
players can help us.
yeah, it's a gorgeous song, and I like that
Mm,
he thinks to sing about his mom. That's a sensitive side of John. That's very nice. Glad to have that song from John. What say you
beautiful.
for number 9, Matt?
I have Mother Nature's Son at number 9, and beautiful song. I love the John Denver version as well, and I like that comment that Ed Maiello just made about John Lennon appreciated John Denver's version. That's kind of a cool little factoid to know. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mother Nature's Son, John Edward Maiello. I want to credit the right person. Yeah, Mother Nature's Son's just a beautiful song. Joe mentioned it earlier. Makes you feel like you're going back to nature, back to the woods, back to being natural, and it's just a really beautiful, relaxing song, well written, and yeah, made my top 10 easily. Number
Do
9.
do do do. I start
Yeah.
singing it now. Here we go. Let's see now. So I'm going to see what comments I put some up while we're talking, but
Folks, while he's doing that, don't mind me wiping the sweat off my brow, but it's like 92 degrees here in New England. I'm dying, but I'm getting through it. I should have gotten a fan like Joe did.
yeah, I have a little desk fan here.
I got to
Fan is
get one.
Oblada, Blackbird, Julia. Great lyrics from John with input from Yoko and Donovan.
Ah,
Ocean Child. Oh, okay, at least Doc, at least you got that higher. Yeah.
yeah, he's got that way up there.
Glass Onion. Yeah, I think I remember Glass Onion was pretty good on that.
Yeah. It was funny with that remix in 2018, how some of them were like, you mentioned it, Joe, stellar, and some of them were hit and miss, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like I love. I'm not going to remember that as I get into it, but like some of them really stood out for me.
Right.
I'll get into some other ones as I go along. Helter Skelter, a classic. The less said about the U2 version, the better. And the less said about the Pat Benatar version, the better. There's a
Yeah,
Pat
that's
Benatar
another
version.
version. A Motley
Hel-
Crue did a version too, I think.
Helter Skelter, Your Blues. Glad to see some love for Your Blues. I got it higher than that, but
Yeah, yeah. I figured you might.
yeah. All
I
right,
love it though. That's great.
all right, Matt. Let's go with you to start for number
For
8.
number 8, everybody's got something to hide except me and my
Wow,
monkey is my number 8. I
yeah, being
love
high.
that song. That's a rocker, boy. I'll tell you. That's one of those songs. Like I told you, I had a friend in the service overseas, and I turned him on to the Beatles with this album. Helter Skelter was one, and Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey was one of the other ones that he really dug. He really thought it was a scorcher, or as we say here in New England, a scorcher. So It's a great song. What a great one of the best Beatle rockers ever. John Lennon at his best. I love it. Number 8.
Nah, it's okay. uh, number 8, I went with a Paul McCartney song. I think it's his best ballad on the record. Is it a ballad? Yes, it is. I Will.
Ah, cool.
I put it at number 8. I wish it was a little longer sometimes, but that's sometimes the mark of
Yeah.
a good song. It makes you crave more.
Mhm.
And I got a new appreciation for it even because my girlfriend loves that song, and she's a singer and she sang it.
Oh, she sang it. Wow.
Once at the Fest for Beatles fans. Well, not she wasn't on stage. She recorded it. She went
Oh,
into the
right,
room
right.
and
Yeah,
recorded it.
yeah.
And yeah, but I always like that song. So I will number 8 for me. All right, let's.
What
It's
do
really
people think?
beautiful.
What do they think?
Okay, let me go around here a little bit. We got "Don't Pass Me By" all the way at
Wow.
8 here,
James Winston, that's high.
and that's
Yeah.
what I like to see, whether I agree or
Yeah.
disagree. I love
No, yeah.
people's opinions as being like interesting
Oliver.
and
Dear
unusual.
Prudence.
Mother Nature's Son for Sarah.
Sarah, we were close on that one.
I will. Oh, good taste, Del.
Yeah, good pick.
There
Marcus.
you go.
Hey,
Hey, me
me
and
and
my
my
monkey.
monkey. My monkey.
Oh, Matthew Smith loves glass onion. It's all the way number 8.
That's a good showing.
A staple at birthday parties.
Oh
For
yeah,
Doc
it's
birthday.
so many places. You go to a restaurant or a party somewhere and it's someone's birthday, and the band always plays it or the DJ plays it.
I love that song, Calico Skies. It's a
Oh
great
yeah,
song. Great
great.
song off Flaming Pie.
Mm,
And yeah, same sentiment
yep,
as
fabulous song.
I will. Mother Nature's
Mhm.
Son. Do, do, do. Number 8, Julia. Great tribute to John's mom. Fabulous. Great fingering. Taught to John by Donovan.
Donovan. Yeah.
Helter Skelter, number 8.
Paul
There you
recorded
go.
July as a blue. Yeah.
I
Cool.
will. Hey, that's what I have. Vivian to match me.
That's a beautiful song. That's cool that you can play it too, Vivian.
All
Sam,
right.
Dear Prudence.
Dear
Good showing.
Prudence. Let's go to number 7. Okay, this is one. I'll start. Number
Sure.
This is one where we've disagreed. I think one of the more sharp disagreements. I mean, as far
Yeah.
as placing.
It's got to be one
Placing.
of my bottom third, right?
I don't remember where yours was. Remind me. It's Sexy Sadie, number 7.
I had it 2023. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just originally he was going to call it Maharishi. He made a fool of everyone because it's about the Maharishi.
Right.
And John Chiss, I chickened out at the last minute, so I called it Sexy Sadie, which is cool too. I like that. It's a personal dig, really, at him. I love those kind of like harmonies and things, like whatever you want, the wah 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 that they're doing. I like the melody of it. Again, I keep saying this. I'm sorry, folks, but it's fresh to me still. I'm not tired of it.
Yeah. Right.
Like some of the other songs on White Album, all the Beatles songs in general, I could always hear that and enjoy it. And because I love Helter Skelter so much, hint hint, here we go. I like the way I'm always like waiting for Helter Skelter to come crashing in after
The transition. Yeah. Right.
the transition of
Yeah.
Sexy Sadie. So there you have it. What do you have for number 7?
I have one of the most beautiful ballads, love songs ever written, in my opinion. I Will at number 7. I love that song, and I've always loved it from when I heard it as a young boy, but it really hit home with me. I think it was on Paul's 2005 Us tour, the Us tour it was called, and he came out and played that song with his acoustic guitar and just strummed it along, and people were crying in the audience and had tears in their eyes, and people were hugging each other. It just emotionally, it's just one of the best ballads he's ever done. I will forever love I Will. I will never get tired of it. I knew it was going to be somewhere near the top, and it ended up at number 7.
All righty. I Will is beautiful. Somebody's saying here. What was it?
Doc. I like that showing, Doc. I do like that.
Martha,
Granny
my dear,
music.
granny music.
Piano, I like the piano.
Do you think some songs on this album are a bit more hate angry filled? Because most Beatles songs preach love. Um, hmm.
I
Well,
think it's a
Sexy
quirkier
Sadie.
album lyric wise, but
uh, I'm trying to
you
think,
know,
hate or anger or something like
thought
that.
I thought they spread their wings more on this album with some of the lyrical content and the storytelling. I thought they really were spreading their wings, so to speak, and to good effect.
King's Court's here. He thinks Uncle Albert should have been on the White
Hey,
Album.
Elvis is in the building.
I don't think that would have worked out. You need Linda on. I know you're kidding, but I was saying you need Linda on Uncle Albert. And they did. Well,
Elvis
they
is like
had
the
met
building.
already. They had met already, but they weren't married yet. Not that matters. I mean, geez, Yoko wasn't married to John either.
Yeah, you're right.
What the hell am I talking about? Don't mind me, folks. Oh, we did this already.
Gotta
Revolution
love it.
One. Woo! We disagree there, but that's what makes the world go round, as I often say.
Yeah.
My favorite Beatles album. There you go.
Well, yeah, a lot of people really gravitate towards the White Album. They really do.
Yeah, I think I did a list once, and I think I put it number one. I mean,
Oh, did you? Wow.
it might be because of the variety and also how much stuff's on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Joe. Songs like "Sexy Sadie" and "Piggies" are hateful songs. I guess Paul had to wait for too many people.
Yeah.
And dear boy. Let's see. You might need better Bones Woodland because it ain't the next time. Which one were we talking about? Was a minute. I lost that. All right. Let's go over to we're at number 6 now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're up to 6.
We're
Wow.
going to start with you for number 6, Matt. What do you got at number 6?
Well, you had this in the second third of the album, but I had to have this up high. I really love this song, Blackbird by Paul's Blackbird. It's just it's a classic, an instant classic. It's one of those songs. It was never a single, but it was like a single that never was. It's become a standard now, kind of like Yesterday and Michelle and some of his other songs of this vein. And I know it's overplayed, and he does it on almost every tour now, but it just still knocks me out. The sentiment of it, what it's all about. Paul has spoken about. I'm not going to get political here and stuff, but it's just a great song, well written, well played, well sung by Paul. Blackbird, number 6.
I should mention, without causing too much controversy, some people think that Paul's playing up the political angle, inspiration more these days, that it really wasn't the case so much when he really wrote it. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any reason for him to lie.
Yeah, I don't either. When I was younger, I didn't know. I just thought, it's a cool little song. I didn't even think about that. It wasn't until years later when he started touring after the late 80s coming into the 90s that this whole theme came out, so to speak. And you're right. I don't know if that was the true original intent or not, but I know that's what he's been saying the last 30 years.
Yeah, and I'm not claiming I know for a fact either way. I don't know. I'm just bringing it up because some people have said this, so I don't know.
No, I totally get it. Yeah.
All right. So number 6.
Yeah, what do you got? I'm curious.
That's my placement of "Happiness Is a Warm Gun," which we
yeah, wow. That's our biggest spread so far.
Yeah. And
tell me what you love about it.
Let's say that sometimes it's hard to say. You can't always say it's just cool. I don't know. It's cool. I like John's. I mean, there's nothing cool about drugs. I never did drugs. I'm not into drugs. But when you're talking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, hey, a little street cred. There I go. In that regard, I need a fix. I like that whole part in there. I need a fix because I'm going down to it's that I left uptown. I like the changes in the song, the way it starts. The beginning. She's not a girl who misses much, etc. And it changes, and it gets that whole part. That's a cool part. I love that. The whole bit though about "Happiness Is a Warm Gun," he got that from a gun magazine, and the irony of what happened to John, that doesn't sit well these days. But I think it's a cool track. I love it. I like where it's placed on the album too, at side one at the end. But that's
Right,
not the
right.
only reason. But yeah, number 6 for me.
Oh,
Happiness
good
is a
pick.
warm
Yeah,
gun. Cool,
that's what makes
cool.
this fun to see the disparity in picks and things.
So let's see
Uh,
what we got here. Okay, happiness is a warm gun.
oh,
6.
James Winston matched you.
All right, what do we got here? Okay, Eargasm.
Oh, Wes loves it too. Yeah,
Your Blues.
yeah.
Martha,
I love
my
your blues.
dear, I
I will.
will. Don't pass me by. Good for you. So I love hearing Ringo up that high.
Hey, Sam, that's cool. Ringo's up there. Yeah. Does anyone have?
Bluebird. Okay.
No, I was going to say, does anyone have Blackbird up near me, or am I the only one?
I don't know if did I pass it? Bluebird or Blackbird. It's funny. I think Blackbird's a better song, but if I was going to judge based on what I think is a better song, Blackbird. On what I prefer to hear these days, Bluebird.
Bluebird. I agree with you 100%. Yep.
All right, so that's my opinion on it. I'm looking for Blackbird here.
No, I don't think anyone. No, maybe it's.
Well, this is a real revelation we got here, Woodland Goblin, because as much as I love Woodland Goblin, he does oftentimes,
He's a Paul guy,
he
right?
defends Paul, but he thinks that
Yeah.
he's fibbing about it being about black people.
Yeah.
The civil rights thing. I don't know.
Only McCartney knows for sure.
What's this? Okay, Topaz the Cat. They were musically more complex than they sounded. Martha, my dear, is likely. Also, Mark Lewison pointed out that "Hello, Goodbye" was a typical Paul McCartney song that seemed more simple, but it is clever. Well, it is them agreeing and disagreeing, and Julia.
Yeah, beautiful song.
I'm so tired because I sing it all the time when I'm tired.
And then you go right into "I'm Only Sleeping," Vivian. You go right into that one after.
Yeah, and the whole thing—that's a whole other thing. Shoot me bit from Come Together. It's supposed to be he's singing "Shoot Me," not shoot. But you can't hear it because it's buried.
Right.
Come Together.
Good stuff, people.
Kathy keeps.
Really...
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, she's got me. No, she's got me curious too, Joe. There's been some announcement about Back to the Egg Town?
Paul McCartney Archive Collection, London Town, Back to the Egg Masters. We're looking for Paul McCartney to do London Town and Back to the Egg.
I wouldn't be able to contain myself if that's true and confirmed. I'd be like jelly. Those are two of my favorites.
Blackbird, it's
I like Cliche Way too.
All right, so we having this thing's not working so well. All of a sudden, all right, here we go. So now we're up to the top 5.
Yeah, wow, we made it. We're doing pretty good, actually.
You hear what I have number surprise some people. I think. I mean, number 5, George's song "Savoy Truffle," which
candy song.
Yes, talking about Clapton, chocolate sweets, warning him that you're going to have to have all your teeth pulled out, but time to Savoy Truffles candy, because I think the name of the chocolate is Good News. I think the name of it goes, it's good news. I think the chocolate news. We go all of just with a pineapple. The list of names are get the cream, green, and all the names of all the flavors. But when you get this, by the time you get to this, that's it. You want the paint cuts through. I love it. I love the joke of it. I love the subject. I think it's a riot, and I love, you said it well, the brass, the saxophone in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I always mention there are people I know. I talk to them who, in their opinion, they don't care for brass in their rock and roll music or something, and I usually love it. I usually love horns. People say I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you break.
Just you?
No, I'm getting it. No, I look clear from what I can see, but you're a little. Someone said you're wonky, meaning you're like sketchy.
Right a lot of important points there. I hope that I hope
No,
I didn't.
I heard most of them. Yeah, well, yeah, no, I picked up most of what you were
How am
saying.
I sounding, folks? Let me know here.
Right now, I
Sounding
got
all
you.
right?
Right now, you sound good.
Because yeah, hopefully I got all that stuff out of my
No, no,
system.
you made it right through where you were talking about the
Okay.
brass and how cool it was and
Yeah,
how people don't
I
like
love the
brass and
brass.
rock and roll and all that. But it's yeah,
Mr. Mayo's video is blurry too. Oh. All right. Anyway, folks, so there you have it. Savoy Truffle number 5 for
no,
me.
I think that's a great pick. I like where you put that. Oh,
I love it. Ariel
all right,
mentioned
now
it's
you're
fresh. It's a song that's fresh. It's a song
mm-hmm.
that I'm not tired of. I love when it comes on the White Album. I'll play it separate. That's a song I'll go to and play just on its own. I'm repeating stuff just in case it didn't come through clear. You know,
Yeah.
I love the whole thing about teasing Eric Clapton about his
Mm,
fondness for
the
sweets and
sweets.
everything. It's a
Yeah,
fun song. All right,
yeah.
Matt. So go ahead now. What do you got for number 5?
I have birthday. I know it's played out. A lot of people sick of birthday. You go to a restaurant somewhere where there's a DJ for a party and someone's birthday and they got to play birthday. I get it, but this goes back to when I first saw Paul on that first 1989-90 world tour and he brought out birthday and it blew the joint away. I mean, they knocked the roof off. People just were so into him playing that song. It rocked. And from when I was very young, like I said, I got the album in 70 or 71 from my parents, and I've always loved Birthday. It was always one of the songs that I was always near the top of my list on the White Album. And I know it's played a lot, but I had to go with my feelings, and it's number 5. Birthday is just a great rocker. I love the Beach Boys influence on it, the way, the Ukraine girls and Georgia and using the Soviet Union terms, but putting it in kind of like a Beach Boys vibe with the background vocals and stuff. And I love it. It's a great song. Number 5.
Just have a lot of stuff here that I'm going to catch up with.
And by the way, your image and vocals are great now, Joe. They're fine.
Okay, I
Yeah.
don't know what happened before. Okay, Helter Skelter. Has anyone heard Ringo lately? I'm lost. While my guitar gently weeps, number 5 from Mr.
Yeah,
Harrison.
I see what you're saying about that. Yeah. I'm sure Joe will talk about that.
Blackbird number 5. There you go.
Oh, there's a good one. Highway. Good pick.
So it's higher than for even yours, right? Back in the USSR, number 5.
Yeah, good showing.
Wait a minute, Revolution 1. Didn't you put Revolution 1 somewhere else, or am I?
Oh,
Am I
Matthew Smith.
imagining?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know if he had that before. No, I don't. I have it Topaz the cat, but we haven't turned it on yet. Maybe we should, right? It's 90 degrees.
I have
here.
air conditioning, not in this room though.
I got this. This is my air conditioning right now. Just to pat my head here.
All right, let's go to number 4.
Yeah,
we're getting down to
the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty here. We're going to start with you, Matthew. What do you have for number 4?
Julia.
That's
one of my
nice.
favorite John Lennon songs ever. It's just so beautiful. I love the way the tenderness of it, the way John sings it. As you already mentioned, being about his mother, Julia, but also some reference to Yoko in the song. And again, I can't think of that guitar style, the picking he's playing, the one Donovan showed him, but I love the way the guitar is played throughout the song. And it's just a song I never get tired of. So much emotion to it, so much kind of like a preview of what was to come later with his Plastic Ono Band album, like being so open and so real and so honest and singing about someone in his life that he had strong feelings and love for. And I just think it's a beautiful song, number 4. I don't want to keep jabbering.
It's really, nice to see it high up there. Even higher than I put it. I like that.
It's just, yeah. What a great song.
All right, number 4 for me.
Yeah, we're getting
ready?
down
Here
there.
it is.
Yeah. What do you got?
Your Blues.
Ah,
Uh, I
mhm.
repeat myself a lot of times, so I'll repeat myself in street credit, street cred. You know, bluesy, rocky, wailing away guitar, Beatles, recorded in a small room. Sounds like it. You know, they were a small little area to do it. Grungy rock and roll. The lyrics, you know, I love some of the lyrics. I mean, it's about being honest. You're not feeling it. You know, you want
Yeah.
to die. I feel so suicidal. I feel like Dylan's Mr. Jones.
Mhm.
From Ballad of a Thin Man, there's a song, some people may know it. It's a song called Ballad of a Thin Man from Dylan. That's who
Mm.
he's referring to.
Right.
Something's happening here and you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? And that's what he says. And I love, like, feel so suicidal, even hate my rock and roll. Uh, I love all the lyrics in there and the way he's just shredding his misery and pain that he's feeling in that song. Now,
Mm.
I feel pretty good in my life now. Thank you. When I was a teenager, you know, I had moments where, what's the point? You know, I would get these moments, not literally suicidal, maybe, but at times,
Right,
you
right.
know, you want to check out, and that was always a track I would go for. I'd crank up anytime I felt miserable and in pain. I would go for Your Blues, and I would absolutely crank that tune.
Mm.
And I think it really nails that feeling where you feel lonely, you want to die, you know. And I always want to know what the reason why is when he says, "If I ain't dead already, girl, you know the reason why." Is that ever
Right.
explained? Does anybody know what the reason why
I
is?
always thought it meant something like, "I'm not dead already, and girl, you know the reason why," meaning because you're in my life, you've kept me going. That's what I
Oh,
always
okay,
took it as.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that song, "Your Blues." Number 4 out of 30. All
Right.
right.
Yeah, that's a great. I had it 10 back, Joe. I had it at 15 or so, but I love it too. But I really love the way you put it so high on the list.
Okay, number 4, Obladi
Obladi,
Oblada. That's
good
very
showing,
worthy.
James.
Glass Onion. There
Ooh,
you
nice
go.
showing for Glass Onion, Sarah.
There you go, Julia.
Yeah, we matched on that one. Okay.
The Jones best. We got While My Guitar Gently Weeps at number 4. Let's see. Helter Skelter, the Travis picking style.
Ah, you got it. You got it. Travis style picking. That's what it's called. Yep.
Starts off sleepy, I'm so tired, but then becomes heavy.
Yeah.
Hmm. The white cover was the white cover John and Yoko's idea to match their suits. I don't think so. I think the
No,
suits
I
were
don't think
later,
so.
a little later. I think.
I think because of the bombastic nature and the psychedelic nature of Sergeant Pepper was so elaborate, colorful, and wild that they took it down to the bare bones, with the white album cover. I think that was a group decision.
Need some decent Beach Boy suggestions here. What do you got? I'm not a huge Beach Boys fan. I like the earlier Beach Boy stuff. And Don't Worry, Baby is my absolute favorite Beach
Oh,
Boys
that's one
song.
of the best Beach Boys songs ever. Yeah, I agree.
Uh, there you go. Blackbird number 4. That's why nobody had it where you had it because everybody had it even higher.
Yeah, maybe they had it higher. I had it at 6. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm so tired. Yeah, there you go. Blackbird. All right.
yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Now I'm going to start off number 3.
Yeah, top 3. Wow.
Number 3 is where I have Helter Skelter.
Ooh,
Look,
way up
guys, we're going to call this the street cred edition because all I've been
there.
saying again, the White Album is one of those albums I came to late when I was collecting originally in the 70s.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think Helter Skelter, it was also on Rock and Roll Music. And if that was the closest thing to people listening to Kiss all around me, I wasn't a fan of Kiss, but to me that sounded heavy metal-ish,
Mm,
Kiss-ish, heavy
yeah.
rock-ish, 70s ish. So it was cool, and Paul is amazing on it. This
Mm.
is the highest Paul song I have here. Um, it's the only Paul song in my top 5, which is weird, but
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that is
I think
strange.
it's
Yeah.
great. I love John's the bass that he plays there, the chunky bass. I call it chunky sound, but
Mm.
people say it's terrible bass playing. He's not playing right. I don't know. I just know what sounds good to my ears. I'm not
Right.
technically proficient in music. Um, but I have to mention the Giles Martin mix. I really don't like the Giles Martin mix, the job he did with that.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's terrible. You don't hear that John bass in there. I can't hear it very loud in there. I miss it. And most importantly, at the end, it's Ringo who screams, "I got blisters on my fingers," he screams. And that's subdued and over to the side. You can hardly hear it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was so disappointed in that. Really, that there's one song that for me really ruined
Yeah.
the
The new
50th
remix
anniversary White
definitely
Album.
was a hit or miss as far as the remixing
Yeah,
on
and
it. Yeah.
that's my opinion. I don't like what
Yeah.
was done with that, but
And
that is
I'm happy to have that deluxe set. Don't get me wrong. I think it's
yeah,
great
oh
that we're
yeah.
getting these, but with you. I still prefer the stereo master, the
Oh yeah, and
original stereo. Yeah.
thanks for reminding me. The mono version, it doesn't come back. It doesn't return at
No,
the end.
no,
On the
no.
mono version, you don't have that bit where it goes away, then return. They return,
Yeah.
and he
I
screams,
miss
"I got
that.
blisters
Yeah.
on my
I
fingers." So,
don't. There's a lot of good things on the mono mix, but I miss that big time. Yeah.
all right. So there it is, number three, Helter Skelter for me. And what do you have for number three, sir?
Dear Prudence, going along the same line of Julie, I just think it's one of the most beautiful John Lennon songs ever written. Um, I, I don't know what else to say about it, folks. It's just, everyone thinks of John as the rocker and Paul as the balladeer and all that stuff. They both could do everything. They both were great ballad writers. They both wrote beautiful material, and they both wrote scorching rock and roll. And here's where John's really showing his tender side, written for Mia Farrow's sister and in India, and how she wouldn't come out and all that stuff. I just think it's a beautiful track. And I know you hear it a lot on the Beatles channel, but I don't care. I still love it. Number three for me. Dear Prudence.
Okay, well said. Let's see now. I'm gonna go up here a ways. Julian Helter Skelter, my 2 and 3rd place songs.
Oh,
Your
cool.
blues. Your blues is even
Yeah.
higher for you, Highway.
Highway Blues had it up there. Yeah.
Good night for Sarah. Look at that. At number
Wow.
3.
That's a good showing for Ringo. Yeah.
Roger Evans has Helter Skelter as number 1.
Wow.
Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Ooh, Oliver really has that one up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because I remember him saying, John said he was sitting in, in India singing, "I Want to Die." Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned he
Good point.
talked about that. Number 2 is Your Blues. Mother
Boy,
Nature's Son.
I got to give all you people credit, and Joe too. You really had your blues up there, and as I say, I had it at 15, but boy, I love it. Maybe I should have had it higher.
There you go, Savoy Truffle for the doctor. Helter Skelter, we synced up.
Yeah, good showing for Helter
Happiness
Skelter.
Happiness is a Warm Gun. Agree about the new mix. All right, let's go down a bit. What's this? What is Blind Alley? What are we talking about?
Oh, that's is that Wink 55?
Yeah,
Yeah, Helter Skelter is a scorching rocker, and that's just a reference to there's an all-female band from the early 70s called Fanny, and they do a song called Blind Alley, which is a scorching rocker in the vein of Helter Skelter.
It's funny. I was at my record store briefly this morning, and they had another. I saw a Fanny record there. I was thinking.
Oh, I've been searching for them. Oh, I'm trying to find some.
And this is one I'd never seen before. It had a color kind of cover. Anyway, all right.
Love Fanny. Love Fanny.
Giles, Helter Skelter Giles Martin remix wimps out right at the open. Has no it has no punch. Good way of putting it. I really don't. I despise.
Yeah, it's a good description. Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Now we're gonna go to number 2.
Phew. Wow, I can't believe how we did a good job today. We really flew through this.
Yeah, yeah.
We were worried it was going to go past 2-hour mark, and look at us. We're doing pretty well.
Let's go to you for number 2 there, Matt. What do you got?
Well, you mentioned a lot of cool stuff about this one, how you like the Beach Boys flavoring to it, how you Paul's drumming on it and everything. Back in the USSR is my number 2. I know it's overplayed. You hear it on the Beatles channel, every other song, and Paul's done it on many of his tours. But I have to go back to when I was that little 11-year-old kid in my bedroom with my little realistic from Radio Shack record player that my parents got me, and putting my little headphones on, my realistic headphones, and probably the sound was crappy as hell back then. But I just thought, when that album kicked off with back of the plane engine, fading in, and then the song with the guitar kicking off, I fell in love with it. It's just always been one of my favorite Beatles rock and rollers, and it always will be. So number 2, back in the USSR. I love it.
Yeah, and as I say, if it was years earlier for me, I'd probably be in my top 5 or 10.
Right.
Okay, number 2 for me, that's where I put Dear Prudence.
Yeah, we were close on that one.
It's a beautiful song. I like the whole bit about them being in meditation camp, and one of their entourage, Mia Farrow's sister, became kind of obsessed and didn't come out of her hut, and she was meditating all day, and they tried to coax her out of. That's what the song's about, trying to coax her out. And I think that's a great idea for a song. Paul's on the drums. That's another noteworthy bit about it, that Ringo's not on that track. Dear Prudence is, what can you say?
It's a beautiful song.
All right.
And so, I like the transition before we go to number 1, how back in the SSR fades into Dear Prudence on the album.
That's nice.
I love that. I love that transition into Dear Prudence.
Very nice touch. All right, let me go up and see what we have here.
Yeah, what are people thinking here?
Number 2.
Well, you got a lot of matches. Looks like you have a lot of matches.
Blackbird's number 2 there.
Yeah, James Winston.
So lilting and beautiful. I like these words.
Yeah, lilting. I got to remember that word, lilting. I'm lilting right now.
We may have the same top 3, Stephen and I. We'll find out. Blackbird, number 2. While My Guitar Gently Weeps for Oliver, number 2.
True.
Glass Onion, number 2.
Ooh, that's a good showing for Highway.
Sarah's got While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Dear Prudence for Highway Blues. While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I think I prefer the acoustic version. I love both of them, actually.
Oh, that acoustic version is classic, though. Yeah.
And I love that line, as I'm sitting here doing nothing but aging.
Aging, yeah.
I love that line. I wish he would have used it in the regular version we know. Blackbird, influenced by Bach's, I can't say that,
Bore.
And how Chet Atkins played it on the guitar. All right, let's see what we got here.
Another Prudence.
Paul's drumming is amazing in Dear Prudence. Paul's a one-man band.
Yeah, USSR and Prudence. He plays drums on the first 2.
Last comments might have got cut off. Mark Lewison had also said that Hello Goodbye was musically complex, even though it's deceptively. Yeah, we knew.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, simple sounding, but complex, but
true.
Simple sounding.
That's true. Just to point out, I love every track on the album. Honey Pie.
Honey Pie. Well, we had that both at number 29.
All right. Less 2 hours. We still got 20 minutes to spare. I will do number 1. Number 1.
Well, before you say it, we both matched on this. I got to say
we both matched. We both have the same. Let me just say that. We don't even have to. I don't have to ask you. We both have the same number 1.
We have the same number 1.
Let's talk about it together. And it's While My Guitar Gently Weeps. George Harrison, and for me, it's amazing because I love
George for the win.
I love all the Beatles, and it's amazing to me to think with all this John and Paul stuff on here that George actually in my top 5 has 2 songs in the top 5 for me: Savoy Truffle and this.
Yeah,
and not John or Paul really. Well, John has Dear Prudence and Your Blues, but whatever. But George is number 1 for me. Now I want to say Vivian said something. I think she said about repetition with this, maybe. Somebody did. And
I didn't see that.
I have to say, it doesn't always happen. I think, Matt, you said that with, I think it was back in the USSR, a birthday. You said no matter how many times you hear it, it's still no burnout. And
it doesn't get the burnout factor. Yeah.
Yes, that's the case for me. And While My Guitar Gently Weeps, doesn't always happen. I can hear that. Every time I hear it, I love it. Catch it on the radio. pops on somewhere. I love it, and I don't really know what I could say about it. I love the idea that if it is is George really emphasizing the fact that he's not happy with the way things are going on around him right at that particular stage? There's some unease and tension, maybe, and
Right.
stuff like that. Is it literal? Now, I thought was the inspiration from a book. Somebody let us know where I'm trying to jog my memory where he opened up a page and it said "Gently Weeps" or something like that, and he wrote a song
Yeah.
around that.
Right. I
I thought
wasn't. I'm not sure of the line, but I thought he saw a line somewhere and it struck him
I
so that
remember
he.
hearing something about that. But yeah, I
Mm.
love it. Eric Clapton comes in and does the lead guitar on it. Uh, it's great to have Clapton on it. I mean, I wish
Yeah.
George would do it himself, but still,
Right. Right. Yeah. In fact, when I was young, I thought it was. I never knew about Clap. They didn't put the credits on albums back in the early '70s, and when I first got the album, I just thought it was George.
yeah, and you're not because John Lennon used to say back then you weren't supposed to tell; it was supposed to be a
Right.
secret.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
he said, "What he used to say?" He said later on you'd say things like Johnny Olin does the guitar, or they'd
Yeah.
make like a little joke name up or something like that.
Right. Right.
Uh, and yeah, I don't know what else I could say about it. I feel like one thing I will say is I was also a little disappointed, and again with the Giles Martin mix of this on the White Album.
Yeah. The wailing. I didn't like the way he dealt with that.
Yeah,
Maybe
and at the end,
you can want to mention that if you want about the.
it's at the end,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I didn't like that the
He's
way
going,
he.
whatever
He
it is.
put it too prominent in the
Yeah,
mix. I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
it's
yeah,
too. I like that it's there in the regular stereo mix, but it's at the perfect level. But on that remix, it's a little too in your
yeah.
face.
I mean, this is the clear classic track on the album to me. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a few bona fide classics, but I would
Oh
say
yeah,
if I was picking one, what's the real biggest classic on here? It would be
it's
that
got
for
to be
me.
this. Yeah.
What What do you think?
No, George with the win, folks. For us, I mean, George, he takes it all here. I just think this is one of the greatest songs he ever wrote and ever performed, and uh, it's got a little sentimental value to me because it's one of my dad's favorite Beatles songs of all time. Believe it or not, my dad's 90 years old, but back in the day, going way back, he's always told me that he never knew this was he doesn't know much about who did what with the Beatles, but he always felt that this was one of the best Beatles songs ever written and performed. And
Mm.
to this day, whenever he hears any version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, whether it's a jazz version on his jazz radio station or a solo guitar version or a horn version, he'll tell me about it. Say, "Oh, did you ever hear the version of While My Guitar by so and so?" He just loves this song, and I love the song, and so just knowing that it's special to him makes it very special to me. And Joe said it; it's a classic. It's the classic song on this album, and it deserves to be number one for
Do you
sure.
have a preference for either the slower version, the acoustic kind of thing?
I prefer this version. I prefer the regular stereo original mix version. However, that acoustic version is right below it. I do love that the acoustic version. I especially love the one I used to hear it in bootlegs stripped, but I like the version with that George Martin and Giles added some orchestration
Yeah,
to it.
that
I
was
think
my
that
next question. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a beautiful touch.
yeah.
That might have been one of the last things that George Martin was
Yeah,
involved
I
in.
think it was. Yeah, I think it was one of the last things he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's beautiful too. That's like three versions
Oh yeah,
that I love from it.
yeah, yeah.
Well, we did it, Matt. We had to
Oh,
make it two
whew,
hours or
whew.
less, and we did it.
We did it in
This
an hour
worked
and
out pretty
45.
pretty good.
Uh,
So,
yeah, we got through it. We got through it.
thanks everybody for helping us out and joining in.
Yeah.
What
Any
do
news,
we?
Joe? You got something coming up with Talk More Talk
Yeah,
tomorrow night?
tomorrow on my other show, Talk More Talk, which if you don't know, Talk More Talk is a solo Beatles video cast, and
Great, great show.
it's broadcast live every other Monday, every 2 Mondays at
Hmm.
9 p.m. Eastern. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern. It's on Facebook though. It's not on YouTube. We were thinking about switching to YouTube at some point, possibly
Oh
doing it
yeah, wow.
live on YouTube. We don't know.
Live on YouTube.
Uh,
Wow.
but we're
Yeah.
still for now we're doing it from Facebook. And even if you miss any of those shows, after they're done live, just like this here show thing, it becomes a video anyway. You can go over to Talk More Talk on YouTube and subscribe, please. And the show we're going to do tomorrow is going to be about the new release called Ram On. It's the 50th anniversary of the Ram album, and I forgot the man's name. Fernando Perdomo. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. He works with Denny Sywell, the Wings drummer,
Yeah.
on this album, and it's a wonderful tribute. I've heard it already. I really liked what I heard. I heard the whole thing, and we're going to be talking with him tomorrow on Talk More Talk, Facebook
Nice.
Live, or just go over to YouTube and Talk More Talk. We'll have it as a video after it's over. So that's me, and I recently did a stint on the Ken Michaels show. Ken Michaels has a YouTube channel. Please check that out. Ken Michaels Radio. It's called
Oh, okay.
here on YouTube. He does interviews with all kinds of people, and we just did an interview last Thursday, I think it was, and sometime this week it's supposed to be aired on there or on his channel, Ken Michaels Radio. And what's going on your end? Anything, Matt?
Yeah, I got some fun videos coming up very soon. I'm trying to plan another one with my dad, so that should be coming up down the road. I've got a show coming up. Well, it won't be next week. We're going to be taping next week. I'm going to be doing an interview with power pop musician Jonathan Pushkar. Myself and Stephen Schnee are going to be doing a sit down with Jonathan. He's got a brand new album, power pop album, coming out on Gem Records on June 4th called Compositions. And we're going to be interviewing this young man about his career and about his new release. And that will be posted on my channel probably within the next week and a half or so. So, yeah, I'm keeping busy. Love being part of FaB GaB here. Looking forward to our next show together, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to attempt Yellow Submarine. Is that true?
Yeah, we're supposed to attempt Yellow Submarine next. And I didn't know how to do it because I was thinking maybe to do the song track, that one that came out in '99. But if you do the Yellow Submarine song track, then you're talking about doing a whole bunch of songs like Nowhere Man and Love
Think
You
for
Too,
yourself.
Think for Yourself, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, do we do those again? Or so the idea was put to us, just maybe do the actual album that was released with the instrumental music,
and include the instrumentals.
which I've never
That
heard,
could be
folks.
fun. Yeah, that could be
I've
fun.
never played that stuff before. I've heard it in the movie when I watched it. That was good enough for me. So
Yeah.
I'll have to rank those too. I have to learn it. But, yeah. So yeah, there you go. Don't know when that show's going to be. We got to discuss that, and we'll let you know in advance when that's going to be on.
Absolutely.
So, all right, everybody. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Hello to Stephen Schnee, I see.
Yeah, Matt. Well, like I said, we'll be taping an interview with Jonathan next week. Matt and Steve show. Yeah.
Okay, folks. So thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to Matthew Street's channel if you
thanks.
haven't.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
And mine if you haven't. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye, folks.